Can't find the perfect vendor for field medical insights or med info insights or SRD generation, etc.? Well, here's probably why and what you can actually do about it. I often hear this following statement in working with medical affairs teams who are in the process of evaluating different vendors. We looked at vendor A, B, and C. We love feature X from the first vendor, we love feature Y from the second vendor, but none of them quite fit our specific needs. So here's typically why. A lot of these end-to-end solutions don't always have the level of customization that's necessary for each specific team. When you look at medical affairs more broadly or more specifically, when it comes to evaluating things like field insights or generating SRDs, etc., while there might be some overlap in terms of the process, different therapeutic areas have different needs, different languages, different types of insights you're looking to extract from your data. Different teams even have different processes and different KPIs and how they like to measure. And even at a company level, those processes can have nuances and variance. And oftentimes with different end-to-end solutions, while they might offer some sort of customization at a high level during implementation, there is less flexibility in terms of setting up some of the nuances involved in the process, like with field notes, maybe what type of labeling you want. Is the labeling accurate because it depends on different therapeutic areas, etc. So they lack the level of customization that most of you guys are looking for. The second element of this is ultimately for a lot of these teams, there's two things that I see teams look for when it comes to field medical or any sort of insight solution. One, you're oftentimes trying to automate a manual process to extract qualitative, context-rich insights behind a lot of the performance metrics you're probably already measuring. And the reason why that's important is because you want to be able to make strategic decisions or inform the next step of your strategy, given all of that data that you're sitting on top of. And two, oftentimes, all of this data is then used to synthesize different types of reports to be communicated, whether it's internally within the team or cross-functionally to commercial market access, etc., or other therapeutic areas, for example. But oftentimes with a lot of different kind of point end-to-end solutions, while they might offer charts and graphs and they do have PDF, exporting report capabilities, the level of customization is oftentimes not enough to enable the types of reports that you're looking for. You're probably downloading the PDFs, or maybe you're exporting the charts and graphs, you're copying it over into a Word document, you're adding your own narratives and summaries into it. If you have any additional questions about your data, you still have to manually kind of dig through a lot of those different solutions and synthesize those specific insights. So there's still a lot of manual work required, and a lot of the reporting capabilities and charts and dashboards tend to be somewhat fairly static, and they do enable efficiencies, but oftentimes not to the level of customization that teams are seeking. So what is ultimately the solution, and what should you potentially do about that? Well, the first is, is this something, if this is such a high priority, could you potentially consider building it in-house? Or maybe you can leverage some of the features of those vendors that do fit into that process and flow. Could you hire a consultancy to build that end-to-end solution for you? Those are some of the options. Obviously, I'm going to shamelessly plug our solution in there. So with Atrix, we really try to address a lot of those problems by enabling customization and personalization to each team's needs through a scalable self-serve platform. So you are in control of the customizations. You don't ever have to really touch our team in order to be able to customize to your needs. On our end, we automate the enrichment and analysis of that data in a way that your team is ultimately going to care about. And then we also enable really easy reporting by magically plugging into your data and allowing you to synthesize charts, graphs, and even narrative formats in a Word-like document that you can easily modify and edit in place to ultimately export and share with your team collaboratively all in one place. So, one, obviously consider us if you haven't yet, but outside of that, I think look at implementing things internally, potentially leveraging some of the vendors you've already looked at, or consider building in-house or having a consultancy build a fully customized solution for you. Thanks so much.